Hello, hello. I'm Steve Reinharz, CEO of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions Trading on the OTC Pinks as AITX. This is our weekly video, NFTs, Romeo builds, Rosa builds, trade show, ISL publication, sales, the K, QB, and a little freebie for a lucky handful of folks. Guys, let's get to it. There's a lot going on. I can't not lead off with something related to Ukraine. So, driven by our own humanitarian instinct, as well as some incredible suggestions from AITX investors, we have decided to take that Romeo, that Ukrainian piece, Romeo, that we shared a week or so ago. We're turning it into an NFT, and that NFT is going to go for sale tomorrow, and there'll be another announcement about that. But I'm going to contribute $1,500 on top of whatever the NFT sells for. I have some other AITX execs that are going to contribute as well, and we're going to try to put together a nice little care package. Anyway, more details on that tomorrow, released in the morning. So that'll come at you tomorrow. But anyway, a tragedy unfolding before our eyes, and definitely want to do what we can and hopefully inspire others to do the same. So that's Ukraine. And really, these efforts are driven by the AITX community. It's amazing what you guys do and how you inspire me to improve. So thank you very much. Let's talk about Romeo. Okay? Is everybody watching those Red Hawk episodes, those Red Hawk Casino episodes? Episode 3 came out yesterday morning. I mean, are those fun? I hope everybody's liking them. We like putting them together. And you saw, I kind of did a little cameo in it. I thought it was funny. The full clip of the cameo is funnier, but nonetheless, it was funny. So, really cool sharing the technology of these devices. I'll share with you that the deployments that we have right now, the operational abilities of Romeo are amazing. I love our roadmap with these units. So Romeo's looking great, and I'm hoping to share some really cool videos with you of Romeo, threading a needle. I call it threading a needle, of having a gateway that it's got to pass through, and just advanced autonomous navigation functions. That's the core of the technology. Difficult to do. Obviously, you've seen us spend years and millions of dollars getting to this point. So I'm happy to share that the videos that I have make me really excited, and the feedback that I get from my team as far as the deployments go make me really excited, really expectant of a great future for that product. The other thing about that product, though, of course, is that same technology is going to be in the delivery vehicle. So everything that we're doing is just going to be mirrored over, and we're going to launch that by the end of this year. And that's another huge market that I'm excited to build an organization around and for. So really cool stuff with Romeo. A lot of incredible engineers have got us here and are going to drive this further. So that's working great. And when I talk about Romeo, Romeo's the big device. It's cool. It's a robot. It's got autonomous technology, a lot of technology fusion. But Rosa, of course, is, I'm not going to call it our bread and butter, but it's definitely the entry drug into the RAD community. And the 3.0 units are great. Check out this little 3.0 video, or a little Gen 2/Gen 3 video. I mean, you can kind of see how cool Gen 2 was, right? We love Gen 2. And then you look at Gen 3 and you're like, oh my goodness, those Gen 2 units, right? So those Gen 2 units that you saw in that little clip have all been shipped and delivered. I took the video on Tuesday. They shipped out on Wednesday. And then those Gen 3 units that you saw, they're finishing up QC right now. First batch, part of the first 25 unit run. Maybe we'll ship a few out this week, coming week, maybe next week, I don't know, but definitely in March. Those Gen 3s are going to start shipping. And the Gen 3s will be shown at ISC West. Biggest trade show in North America in security. We have a nice presence, and in preparation for that, we put our booth together. Or at least we put some components of the booth together. Check this out. Once the booth is populated with Romeo, Rosa, Ava on top of Stan, I don't know, a couple other little things here and there, it is going to be stunning. We have over 60 confirmed engagements at this moment. And we're several weeks away. We're a few weeks away from the show. It's going to be busy. We're bringing 10, 11 people down, 10, 11 RAD employees down. A lot of things happening. I've got a lecture on Tuesday morning before the show opens, which will be good. We're going to see if that could be recorded and shared, because it's information that I want you to have, talking about our strategy and where we're going and how this paradigm is changing, how this huge $50 billion paradigm is being changed by us. So that's all I'll be talking about at the show. And supporting that is that cool ISL, International Security Journal, ISJ, piece that came out yesterday, that I kind of did that little poll on Twitter at the end just for fun, whatever, end of the week fun. But that piece covers so much of what we do, you know. Blue Lights Reimagined, Rad Light My Way, you know, the list goes on and on and on. So if you haven't seen that, check this link down below as well, and check that. It talks about what we do and why it's so cool. It's a great piece. So those are going to be printed and distributed by that organization for the show. So that's kind of cool. That was a real good thing that happened with them. So I'm happy about that. And it goes to these efforts that I've been sharing with you about how we want to use a little bit of spending and a lot of guerrilla tactics to make a big impact at this show. As with everything, we want to make an impact beyond the value of the dollars that we spend. So we do different guerrilla tactics, like having, you know, interviews at our booth by a well-known security personality, the entries into the new product showcase, the lecture, the pre-work by the business development team. Going to be a big show, a big show, and hopefully we get a lot out of it. Hopefully it really accelerates our sales activities, which, by the way, are going great. I mean, every week lately, there has been at least one sales press release, right? How cool is that? I remember a year ago, it would be like a few a month or whatever. Now it's like a few a week. I mean, let's just take a moment and say, that's so cool. And we're looking for that to accelerate. You know, sometimes I feel that all the press releases, right? It's a press release about this dealer on Tuesday and this dealer on Wednesday and da-da-da-da-da. I feel it's kind of like a lot, but we kind of have to stay in that pattern for a couple of reasons. Number one, the SEC gets, well, supposedly gets, you know, concerned if a company does things that could be interpreted as pumps. But if you have a pattern of communication and you maintain that pattern, then you're okay. So we have a pattern of communication, and we've been consistent for years. And I think it's one of the reasons why we have such a great community. It's a consistent, honest, transparent communication. That's one of the reasons why there's so many sales press releases. On top of that, I know that the community loves these press releases because you hit me every day. In fact, I'll issue a sales press release and immediately it'll be great press release. When's the next one? I'm like, well, stay tuned. Maybe it's tomorrow. And in some cases, it happens tomorrow. So we have a little bit of fun with that too. The other reason is that dealers, new dealers, want their press releases unique to them. They don't want to blend, you know? Talking about those though, Prudential, with Wednesday's press release, Prudential, what a strong quote from their CEO. Didn't believe in this until he came to the factory, saw it, signed up. Huge. There's more to the story than that, by the way, that we were going to publish, but we didn't. And I know it's an unfair tease. I do apologize for that one. One day the full story will come out. But anyway, it's a good story for us. It's a great story for us. So dealers want their own press releases. Next week, at least one press release for sales, at least one press release for something else that I've got to get out there. I've got to make public so that we can start some other things, or I have to put it in a certain way. So expect at least 2 press releases. And thanks everybody for the encouragement and all you do to keep this party going. You'll notice, hasn't been any dilution in a while. I can't say that we're not gonna have more dilution, but I can say that I'm certainly not looking at any in the near term. I really want to slow that down. We've got the 250 million shares in the OS left right now, plus or minus. And I want to continue to do activities that help support an increase in the price per share. So just know that, anything can happen. I'm not making any promises, but I'm bringing it to your attention now because that's my intention, and that fits into some other things that we're going to try. So anyway, that's what's happening there. But that leads into the discussion of the Q. We had auditors in the office last Monday, which was great. They loved what they saw. I loved that they loved what they saw and shared a lot of compliments with our team who was responsible for the inventory and making sure everything was perfect and everything matched. And you know me, we don't cut corners. We don't fudge. We do everything by the book. And that builds relationships, trustful relationships with folks like the auditors who have to sign our audits. So it went really, really, really well. I still am told that we're looking at 60 days for the K. Now, remember, we've got 90 days plus a 7 or 15 day optional extension, something like that. But we're aiming to get it out in 60 days. So that'll be great. I want to get that out. I want to get it in your hands. I want to get it behind us. I want to get back to focusing on the ERP implementation, which takes a lot of admin time, admin team's time. I prioritize the K over the ERP. I want to get it out, get it done, move on. And of course, the K, once it's filed, we will file for uplist to the QB. I've talked about the QB uplist several times, trying to temper expectations that it's going to bring a massive amount of new liquidity to the stock. Maybe it will. I don't know. Nobody knows. It could certainly happen. But we don't know, and I want to temper expectations. I still want people to stay focused on the fundamentals of the business in terms of how we're going to grow. That's why I talk about sales. That's why I talk about tech. So anyway, that's where we're going on that. Still on schedule, and that's my internal schedule for when I want the K released. Now, tomorrow, stay tuned. We're going to have a new website that I'm going to share and details on the Ukrainian NFT and the Ukrainian humanitarian support efforts. And I want to say a couple last things. I want to say, if you've watched the video this far, which obviously you have because you're listening, do a little research on NFTs and tokenization. There's some interesting things happening in that area that I'm working on and that I'll be sharing soon enough this month of March. So brush up on it. Pay attention to the video tomorrow when it comes out. And the last piece is if you've watched this far, I'm feeling happier than normal this morning, a little bit generous, a little bit grateful to the community, DM me or message me. There's a million ways to get a hold of me. I'm going to pick 5 lucky respondents. I'm going to send you a mug. Why not? Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. So send me those addresses where you want these things sent. I'll send out a few mugs, or 5 mugs, and have a great weekend.